All right, everyone. I am so excited about this Galentine event, and we are so excited to have you all here tonight. Galentine is actually officially on February 13th, so we're a few days behind. But it's important for us to embrace friendships and really support one another. A gal pal is supportive, much like a good bra. They will hug you tight, lift you up, and help you feel and look your very best, right? So here we are, gals, right here to support one another. We're going to talk about some fun things, some things that we love, but also some not so fun things. So tonight, two of my dear friends, Terry and Kayleen, along with myself, will be getting personal with all of you. Gals sharing some of the things we love along with some of the things we have not loved that needed to change. Before we begin more about ourselves, sharing more about ourselves, I would love for anyone who is a current Plexus product user to drop the Plexus product that affected your health the most in the chat. The Plexus product that changed your health the most. Drop that in the chat. All right. Love that. All kind of things. Awesome. Vitalbomb, Triplex, Slim, BioCleanse. Yes, MetaBurn. Awesome. X Factor. Wonderful. Probio 5. Yes. So we're going to be talking about some of those wonderful products tonight. So let's get started because we promised this would be a short event tonight. And we're going to begin with my wonderful, wonderful, sweet friend, Terry Richardson. She is an Emerald Ambassador, wife, mom to 2 teenage boys, and one of the dearest, most genuine people that I know. So, Terry, I'm turning it over to you.
Oh, that is sweet. Hey, everybody. Thank you, Jana. That is too sweet. Thank y'all so much for hopping on tonight. We definitely don't want to take much of your time, so I'm going to try to make this really quick. I want to start by telling you a little bit about why I finally decided to give Plexus a try. And I say finally because my friend Christina messaged me, y'all, for a solid year. And the reason I decided to say yes was because I had just hit 40 and I was not taking it well at all, y'all. I was in denial of getting old. But I was eating good, I was counting my macros, and I was working out 4 to 5 days a week, doing CrossFit, and I just still felt really blah. I was bloated, tired all the time, not sleeping well at all. And I really just accepted that this was how it was supposed to be. So I jumped on board, and I'm so thankful that I did for many reasons. But the biggest reason that I love Plexus is because it has pretty much made my IBS non-existent. And yes, we are going to talk about my poop. So ever since I was little, I have dealt with constipation. My mom, y'all, she fed me prunes as a daily snack every single day. And the weird thing was I actually liked them a lot, but I love cheese and dairy a whole lot more. And I remember sneaking in the fridge when they weren't looking or when I thought they weren't looking to get cheese. And of course, when they caught me, I would have to go eat a whole lot more prunes. So as I got older, the constipation got worse. And I would maybe go once a week on average, and sometimes even closer to 2 weeks. And I'm sure all of y'all have probably dealt with constipation sometime or another in your life, but this was a daily struggle for me. My normal routine was I would not go for a while, and then I would eat or drink something that triggered an episode, and it would be the worst stomach pains ever. I would just have, sorry y'all, but I would just have the most diarrhea. I would be stuck in the bathroom for several hours, and then I would just be drained for the rest of the day. My GI doctor gave me different medicines, but one of the ones he gave me helped relax my colon. So it also relaxed me and made me super sleepy. So I was non-functionable for a while if I took that medicine. It was definitely not fixing the issue. It was just putting a big old fat Band-Aid on it. So it was back and forth with constipation, diarrhea. And after being scoped several times, blood test, having to poop in several cups. Y'all, I know that's gross, but they ruled out all the things, but they finally diagnosed me with IBS. They did find that my gut microbiome housed a ton of bad bacteria, which meant long-term antibiotics throughout the past 20 years. And I also struggled with chronic sinusitis. So I was on antibiotics more than I was off of antibiotics. And y'all know as women what antibiotics cause. So I was on antifungal creams for that all the time. And y'all, I don't even poot around my husband after being with him for 20 years. So having poop issues and yeast infection issues was definitely embarrassing for me. So when I would have these episodes, I literally would tell my husband, I'm like, dude, you have got to go to your shop and just get out of the house until this is over. Like I would just be so embarrassed. So it definitely interfered with our romantic date nights. So we rarely went out to eat. And when we did, I was very limited on where we could go and what I could eat. It was usually the blandest thing on the menu, always the same thing. And the sad part was I accepted that this was my normal. So many people had it worse than me, and I just had to deal with it the best I knew how until Plexus. Y'all, I get really excited talking about this, about poop, but since Plexus, I poop every single day, multiple times a day, and it's normal. It's not constipation. It is not diarrhea. And what's crazy is, y'all, I'll be in TJ Maxx. I do not care where I'm at. If I have to go to the bathroom, I am not holding it. I am going to the bathroom. I have zero shame. I am so thankful every time I get to go to the bathroom. And I don't have, there's no foods that trigger my IBS anymore. I can eat all the Mexican food I want. I eat it several times a week. I can eat as much cheese and dairy. I can eat gluten. I can eat pretty much anything I want, but smaller quantities because, but I've been able to try new foods when Shane and I go out to eat that I never would have been able to before. And y'all, all I did was start with a triplex, just those 3 products. That was the Pink Drink, the Bio Cleanse, and the Probio 5. I've been off all my medicine that I took for IBS, which was like 3 different medicines, no antibiotics, and no yeast infections for over a year. I have added a few other products since joining Plexus, but the triplexes has been a game changer for my IBS. And y'all, this is why I share. I struggled for so long, and I just didn't know any other way. And so many people are struggling with so many different issues. So I know that God has given me this opportunity to help others just like Christina helped me. It is definitely not normal to not poop every day. If you eat 3 meals a day, you should be pooping 3 times a day. It is not normal to have crazy mood swings. It's not normal to have terrible joint pain. It's not normal to be tired all the time. But as moms, we tend to put ourselves on the back burner and accept our struggles. So to be able to love on our kids and love on our husbands like we should, we need to feel our very best. And I'm telling you now, Plexus can help. So whoever invited you to this event, they want to help you feel your very best. So trust them and let them help you. I will never go back to living like that. I love how I feel. I love that I get to enjoy all the different foods. I love that I actually want to go out with my husband and do all the things. I love that I have the energy to keep up with my boys. And I love all the new friends I have from this opportunity. So, and I know that I'm a better mom and wife because of Plexus. So that is my story. And I want to pass it over to my sweet friend and super mom of 5 kiddos, Kayleen, and she is also an Emerald Ambassador with Plexus.
Thanks, Terry. That was so good. And I can definitely resonate with very much of your story also when it comes to pooping problems and constipation issues and all the things like that. So thank you for sharing that. It's personal stuff, but it's real life. And it's just great that we have this opportunity that we can share this together. So this is Love Month, February, and we are just sharing a few things that we love about life, just so you can get to know us real briefly. And instantly thought of the song L is for the Way You Look at Me, right? And so I have to say that since starting Plexus, I love the way that I feel, and I love the way that I look. And it's not even a matter of weight loss, but when I feel good inside, I feel good outside. And my husband, when he praises me and he's like, "Girl, you look good today." He said, "You look happy today. You look so content." Like, I love the way he looks at me. Go, okay? So let your husbands look at y'all. Um, O is for the only one I see. I love my Lord Jesus. And, he is the only one for me and for us, and he is our hope. And then V is for the very extraordinary. And I will say Plexus is extraordinary. Okay. So when you're listening to all of our testimonies of being stuck in all the yuck, I mean, it's extraordinary what Plexus is capable of doing for each of us. And E is for everyone that you adore. And that's my kids. I mean, I adore my kids, and you all, if you knew them, you'd adore them too. So that's a little in brief who I am. And I'm a mom of 5. I'm a pastor's wife. And I'm going to talk to you all tonight about anxiety. Real quick, lots more papers. Um, Basically, if you would talk to my family members, they all would tell you that I came out of the womb fearful. And it only got worse. When I became a teenager, when we were in high school, we had a retreat for all of the high school students, and we were going away to to camp at cabins and such. And I remember laying in bed, crying and shaking with anxiety, and I had no idea why, but it's just something that's always been present for me, always been fearful. So even with high school, and then after starting to have kids, dealing with a lot of postpartum stuff that I didn't acknowledge as postpartum issues. I thought it was just, I'll get over it, I'll be fine. But we have 5 kids, and so progressively with each child, it got worse, it got harder. And by my 5th, which it's his birthday today, he turns 3, it was severe. And I talked to my doctor, and I was like, I sit at the table and I cry my eyeballs out. I can't, I lose it at the drop of a hat. I don't sleep good at night. I can't fall asleep at night. If I have doctor's appointment the next day, I'm worried about, getting to the doctor's appointment, how I'm going to get in there, things like that, that I didn't realize really weighed me down until I started my Plexus journey. And when I started Plexus, it was for constipation and dealing with some depression. And so I'm just going to give you a little glimpse of hope. If you're on this call tonight and this is a struggle for you, I remember I signed up October 31st, and I remember going shopping the beginning of December, me and my son, and I typically only go to Walmart or somewhere local. And I decided, hey, let's go to the outlets and do it big. And I wasn't fearful. I didn't have to think it through. I didn't lose sleep over it. And when I was driving, I just thought, this is wild. Wait a minute. How I'm doing this. And I didn't even think twice about it. And as I was driving down the highway, I was thinking, I'm not even a bit nervous. Like, I'm actually really excited about this and going out with my baby and taking him shopping. And so that was just a couple months for me. And it's not even that it's completely gone yet. I've only been taking Plexus for 16 months. But the incredible change that I have noticed in that short amount of time of 16 months has just been such a gift and such a blessing. And to speak briefly about the products that I take, it's the Triplex. I'm sure you've seen that in the chat. But to show you real quick, it's our Slim Drink, which deals with blood sugar balance. We have our Bio Cleanse, which is full of magnesium, which my body was super deficient in. And then we have our ProBio 5, which is our probiotic. I can't speak enough about this probiotic. But these 3 products truly changed everything for me. Helped me be regular, helped my happy hormones to thrive again. And just basically, guys, gave me my life back. And so I encourage you, just like Terry, whoever invited you here tonight, you're here for a reason. And you don't have to be bound by this any longer. And it's just a matter of balancing your body. So when your gut is in balance, everything else is in balance. Our gut is known to be our second brain. And when that's in balance, our brain's telling us, hey, everything's okay. We can be calm. We've got this. We're regular going to the bathroom. Everything just levels out. But it's a matter of giving it time, letting your body heal. And so I'm just really excited that you all are here tonight. And I'm going to hand it over to my good old friend. It says it's Brittany Howard, but this is really Jana. So Jana, take it away.
Thank you so much, Kayleen and Terry. That was so wonderful. Yeah, I forgot to tell you, I'm not Brittany Howard. Those of you who don't know me, Brittany's so gracious to allow her to use her Zoom information for these calls. So we are so thankful for all that you've shared, Kayleen and Terry. I mean, Terry, that was very personal information and the struggles that you had to go through for many, many years. And your husband is the person you should feel the closest to, but how difficult it is for us ladies to share that really, really difficult side of us often with our husband, because it is embarrassing. Let's just be honest. It's hard. And then Kayleen, the anxiety, that is just, sometimes it can really burden us. It does really burden us. And it's hard for us to imagine, life sometimes when we get to that point. And I know y'all are both so thankful to the Lord for Plexus coming into your lives and how they've really changed your health. And some of y'all may have seen, I know some of you asked some questions in the chat. Some of you may have seen that Terry said she actually takes 3 to 4 Provide 5s a day to help with her issues. And I love the triplex too. So now I'm going to share briefly my story with y'all. So I love the Lord. He is my Savior. I love my husband, who is a law enforcement officer. I love our kids. We have a huge house full of kids. We have adopted and biological children. And I love Plexus also. I love my friends too, I should say that. And I've met so many wonderful friends through Plexus that are lifetime friends. People that I can certainly relate to and that encourage me. And I love this culture. And like I said earlier, they lift me up. We encourage one another. We lift each other up. We want to give hugs even when they're far away. Like Kayleen's a lot further away than Terry and I. Terry and I get to see each other, but we encourage one another. But I love Plexus. I love how it has changed my life and so many others. So 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago, was actually almost been 4 since I started having health issues. Terry was saying that she worked out in the gym all the time and was very regular with trying to stay healthy, but struggled in some areas and very serious areas. And I can't say I struggled with this. I had very good health my entire life, never had any health issues ever. I'm thankful for that. But I was getting older. I'm about to be 45. And when so it's been 3 years, so 42, I started struggling with urinary tract infections and yeast infections all of a sudden. Just all of a sudden, it just came on. I was eating really clean, ate well. I mean, I would have, sugar and stuff every once in a while, but that's not generally how I ate. I ate really good vegetables, homegrown veggies, and just ate very clean. I worked out regularly. I drank lots of water. I never have been a soda drinker. I drank sweet tea growing up, but even that I wasn't doing in the last 20 years much. I mean, I might have a soda every once in a while, but that was very rare. I just really took care of my health. I just thought it was important. I knew I felt better when I did. Well, all of a sudden, literally out of the blue, I got this UTI, and then it was a yeast infection. I really just, really looked at my food again, just cut out anything that was processed, anything with sugar. It was hard, especially because I like fruit creamer. That's another thing I love is fruit creamer in my coffee. So I had to cut that out. It was really devastating. But y'all, the pain, if any of you have ever experienced urinary tract infections, and I know some of you probably have, and I had never, except one time before. And I didn't even have burning. I just got sick. And that was the only time in my whole life that I'd ever had anything like that. But I had the worst pain and burning, and then the yeast infection with the itching. I mean, it just hit me literally. And so I went to the doctor, and I went 3 times, and she was fabulous, you guys. I'm very thankful for her medicine. She was wonderful. She did all kind of tests and everything, and she just couldn't find anything wrong with me. And she sat me down on the 3rd visit. I mean, she gave me medication, but it didn't help at all, at all. And she sat me down on the 3rd visit. She said, "You're perimenopausal. It's your age." And I was like, "I'm too young. I feel too good. What's happening?" I've been taking care of myself. I thought I was doing all the right things, and I was. And I can't imagine how it would have been if I hadn't been taking care of myself. But anyway, she said, "You may have to struggle with this for months or years." And I was devastated. But my friend Brittany Howard, I remember her telling me something when she had told me about Plexus. I remember her saying something about blood sugar balance and insulin resistance. And I knew a little bit about that, but it was just enough for me to think something is not right with my system. And so I called Brittany on that 3rd visit outside of that. I was walking out the door, and I called her, and I was like, "I need some of that Plexus stuff." And she came to my house, and we ordered it. And you guys, I mean, I'd only struggled for 4 or 5 months at that point with my issues. So when I got it in, it only took 2 days on the slim for my UTI symptoms to start going away. But for 4 or 5 months, day and night, I had pain and burning and itching and all the terrible things that come along with it that just make our skin crawl when we think about it. But I had struggled, and it took a short time though. I hadn't struggled for years, like Terry and Kayleen had talked about. So, it's going to take longer, the longer we struggle with issues, for our body to really heal. But my body healed in other areas that I didn't know that took longer. Some of it took years for me to even realize I had serious issues in other areas of my life. Some took months and some took years, but the UTIs and the yeast infection symptoms started going away very quickly. And since it was the slim, the pink drink, that helped me with the UTI, the burning sensation, I knew that there was still some kind of blood sugar issue and insulin issue. And so if you know anything about how our insulin affects our hormones, then you know that it's important that we have blood sugar balance, that our body is pushing that glucose into our cells properly. And so do some research if you're not familiar with that. But anyway, I used the triplex for several months consistently, and I was just so thankful for the results. And 3 years later, never had another UTI or a yeast infection. And I'm very, very thankful for the triplex. And now I use several other products that I just love. And I'm just thankful that we have these wonderful, amazing products that really change our lives and really make a difference. So thank you, Terry and Kayleen, for sharing those very important and very serious things in your life that you went through with us. Thank you, everyone who was on the call tonight. If anyone invited y'all, make sure you get in touch with them. Share your stories. We're all gal pals here. Share your stories, share your heart, support one another, and make sure that you are having all your friends living the best that they can in the bodies that we have today. Care about your friends, your gals, and share with them. Thanks again.